Adding a heater to your pergola sounds amazing, right? Don't get tricked into buying something that just doesn't work. Now, I don't want you to think that all outdoor heaters are gimmicks. Electric heaters are a pretty common accessory for a backyard pergola. They provide a little extra heat on those cold evenings so you can spend a little extra time out there with your friends and family. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is we get that question a lot about adding a heater to the pergola. And the reason why is because there are a lot of companies out there that are offering outdoor heaters either for free with their pergola or as an add-on. But what heaters are actually being offered? Let's dive in. The first thing to consider is how high that heater is being mounted. Industry standard for an electric outdoor heater attached to a pergola is going to be about 8.5 feet at the absolute minimum. The reason that 8.5 feet is the minimum is because if you get any lower, you risk scorching your guests. Now, if you've been shopping around for a while, you're probably aware that most of the pergola kits on the market only go up to about 7.5 feet for clearance on that frame. So that means the heater would sit at about 7 feet 1 inch, and unfortunately, that's not quite high enough to be safe. Unless the heaters are exceedingly weak. Oh, so that's how they get around it. Now, the next thing to consider is how much power the heater actually has. The heaters most commonly offered in these outdoor pergola kits are about 110 volt power draw. 110 volts is fine if you're putting it under your desk when you're a little bit chilly. If you want a heater outside, you're gonna need a little bit more juice. And by a little extra juice, I mean that you're gonna need at least 220 volts. Let's make that a little easier to understand. A 220 volt heater mounted at 9 feet is gonna warm a 10 by 10 space to about 63 degrees when the outdoor temperature is around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, a 110 volt heater mounted at the safe height won't even cover a 5 by 5 area. Now, those 110 volt heaters do offer a few small advantages. First, they are cheap, which is to be expected, right? The other advantage is it is really easy to set up. You just plug it in. Now, a 220 volt heater, while actually effective, is not a DIY project. With a 220 volt heater, you have to have it hardwired into your electric box. It'll take a dedicated 30 amp breaker, and depending on your house, you may need to add a sub panel. If you're gonna add a heater to your pergola, please get a pro to do it, unless you're a certified electrician. To summarize, a pergola heater is a great idea, but there are some gimmicks out there. Gimmicks like offering heaters for a pergola that are not nearly powerful enough to do you really any good. And selling those heaters with pergolas that are not tall enough for the heater to be mounted safely. So don't get tricked into buying a cheap pergola just because it comes with a cheap heater. Going with one of the cheap outdoor heaters is gonna leave you cold and bitter in the fall and winter. Want to learn more about tall pergolas and effective heaters? Check out the link in the description and give us a call to learn more.